Hi, I'm Hazel, and today we're looking at how to get the secret BattleBot pets hidden in the Faction Assault feature of patch 8.1. There's two pets that you can get. One can only be created by Horde characters, and the other by only Alliance. You can have and use both pets on any character, but you'll need an opposite faction alt if you want to create both of them yourself. You will need a level 110 plus character for this. It doesn't have to be 120, although it certainly can be. To create the pet, you need to loot 3 pet parts and then combine them together. In order to get started, the Vol'dun Faction Assault must be active. Doesn't matter which faction you are, only the Vol'dun one will do. Once you catch one up, head out there and go here. You should see a bridge with a big mecha spider and gorilla over a salt flat filled with crowlusks. That spider and gorilla will battle it out over and over and over again. The spider fights for the Alliance and the gorilla fights for the Horde. In order to loot one of the parts, your faction's robot needs to win. When the enemy bot falls, it'll drop a lootable jar that gives you one of the components that you need. You'll notice pretty quick that this is a strictly robot-based battle and you cannot attack either of the combatants. You could just loiter by the bridge and wait for yours to win randomly, but that's no way to live your life. Instead, we need to rig the odds. Head out into the salt flat and farm the salt spine crowlusks. Those will drop you briny salt, which has a 15-minute duration and is only for this. How much of that you'll need will depend on whether anybody from the other faction is also working on this, but just get as much as you can while your bots are recharging. I like to pick up 20 to 30. Turn that in at the NPC managing your bot on the bridge. Alliance talk to Binny Sprig Spinner the Gnome, and Horde want Blix Thraz Blast Charge the Goblin. They're both short, so if you can't see them, look down. Energy lets your bot use special attacks, which do more damage and turns the battle in your favor. Multiple players can all turn in salt to buff up your robot, and of course the enemy faction could be doing the same on their side. If it's being contested and you keep losing, you might be better off finding a group or inviting some friends to help. Once your bot wins, that jar spawns under the enemy body. Horde can see it pretty easily under the spider, but if you're Alliance, you may need to go inside the gorilla model to find it. Loot that before it despawns, which happens pretty quick, so this is not a good time to AFK. To make the pet, you need to do this 3 times across different Vol'dun Assaults. The parts are thankfully unique pickups, so you don't seem to get dupes. After your third piece, right-click on any of them to combine them and create the pet. The pet you make is a miniature version of the enemy faction BattleBot, which makes sense since you've been smashing it to bits and picking up its pieces. To get the other one, you can use an opposite faction alt as long as it's at least level 100 and can get to Vol'dun. You can totally use the same faction assaults too, since the lockout is per character. 3 total Vol'dun assaults will let you craft both pets as long as you hit them up on both Alliance and Horde characters. Having said that, both pets are cageable, so if you are a single faction purist or if all of this sounds like too much work, you can buy and sell them on the auction house. In that same vein, if you've got the alts and the time, you can do it on as many characters as you like to craft multiple versions of the pet to sell. Prices will vary wildly, but as of making this video, both pets were averaging around a 40k list price on the auction house. You don't need to actually do any of the invasion in order to work on the pets, and the Briny Salt World Quest does not need to be up. As long as the Vol'dun Faction Assault is active, you're good to go. To help with finding faction assaults when they're up, I like to check the timer on Wowhead's front page. It shows the current assault if there is one and when the next few are scheduled to be. Each one lasts for 7 hours, so I figure out a time when I can look in on it and set a reminder for my phone. If you are only after the Vol'dun ones for this, then remember that faction assaults alternate continents. If it was just on Zandalar, then the next one will be a Kulturan zone and you don't have to check until the one following. They flip back and forth. The pets themselves are learned at blue quality, which is nice, and have neat movesets to work with for pet battling. The gorilla has really average stats and a mix of beast and mechanical damage, with Surge of Power as an option for move 3. The spider, on the other hand, is fast. It's got no health and less attack, but 349 speed will get you places in life. Between Flurry and Smoke Cloud, it's almost a mech pet with a rabbit moveset. And that's the deal with the Vol'dun Assault pets. It's a nice little gold grind for not too much time invested if you're into that kind of thing, or just a fun different way to find pets for the collectors. Thanks for watching, let me know what you think, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!